What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Pancis. If it's your first time tuning in, please be sure to smash that subscribe button. If not, thanks for your continued support. Today we have more SAAB content coming for you. We're going to take a SAWZALL and a bushing press, and we're going to actually replace the rear trailing arm bushings on my 2004 SAAB 9.5. We have 220,000 miles on this thing. I don't think the rear trailing arm bushings have been replaced. If they have, they need to be replaced again because it's got a lot of miles on it. So anyways, we're gonna upgrade them to PowerFlex's polyurethane bushing, which obviously it's a much better material in that control arm than the stock rubber bushings that are in there. So we're gonna hop into this video. I'll show you what we're doing, how it's done. It should be pretty easy, knock on wood. It always looks like it's easy until you get in there and you're dealing with like a rusty bolt or something, but we have tools for that as well. So hopefully everything goes smoothly. Let's hop into it. Do a little cold start for you on the SAAB. And I mean, after this, we have suspension and all the whole entire front suspension's been replaced. The rear suspension we've done. Now we're doing the control arm bushing. So I don't really know how much more there is to do on this car. I think we've pretty much replaced everything since we've gotten the car last year, whether it's broken or just maintenance we've replaced. So anyways, this upgrade, nice cold start for you. Beautiful. No lights, 220, 175. Drove the crap out of this car this week, which is awesome. But anyways, what happens when these control arm bushings, these trailing arm bushings go bad, you guys can hear it right now, hold on, is it starts to squeak back there. I don't know if you can hear it, it's wet outside and it's not so cold today. But you can probably hear some of the squeak. When it's wet and not so cold, the rubber expands, so therefore it's less squeaky than when it's freezing cold and dry out. So, hold on, round two. It's not doing it, of course. But anyways, we're gonna get in there and replace it. So, see you guys underneath the car. All right, boys, so we have the car up on jack stands, everything in proper positioning. So let me just give you a quick overview of what we're gonna do here before we go ahead and do it, so you know what's up. So first things first, we're gonna go ahead and remove the lower bolt on the suspension, on the shock rather. And we're gonna go ahead and remove the bolt that's holding the sway bar link to the sway bar and the control arm. And then we're gonna go ahead and remove the bracket holding the e-brake on, and then we're gonna go ahead and remove the 3 bolts holding the control arm, rear control arm in place. Little rusty up there, but nothing that we can't handle. So bracket, sway bar link, shock, and then we'll go ahead and pull this down gently. So let's do it. All right, boys, so you get the breaker bar on all 3 of those. Make sure there's a little tension on the jack on the control arm. Take the impact socket and pull them out. First one. Okay. One. 2. And the last one needs a little bit more on it. Okay. All right, here we go. 3. Let's lower this jack stand, or lower the jack. Watch that come down. And the next thing we're gonna do, guys, is remove the bracket from the actual control arm, which has a couple screws. As you guys can see, it's got one major bolt there. Alright guys, I took a wire brush to clean everything up on the bolt side, on the nut side, and you got an 18mm wrench on that one side and an 18mm socket on the other. Alright guys, so now that we have the top bracket off, I'm going to go ahead and install this puller and situate the removal of the bushing. And like that, it pulls right out. Now next thing we got to do is cut the center metal part out like we would on any other bushing of the car with a Sawzall and reinstall the new bushing. There you go, guys. Old's out. Let's go ahead and install the new. All right, so the thicker side goes from the outside in, like it was on the other side, and then the thin side goes over here, like that. Put this little metal tube through, and now we go ahead and reinstall the brace that bolts it into the car. This is pretty straightforward, guys. A little uncomfortable situation on the ground, but other than that, pretty straightforward. So that slides right over like so. Get the bolt that was through it and re-secure that in place like that. Torque it down and she's good to go. Just like that. Done. Now we'll go ahead and reinstall the 3 bolts on the top and reinstall everything else. It's about 20 minutes of work on each side. pump that back into place and reinstall all these bolts, guys. Really straightforward here. That's all I'm doing, because I'm literally bringing it straight to the alignment shop after this. I can move this jack out of the way. All right, boys, so there we go. We got the driver's side done. You guys can see this is the old bushing, new ones in there. It was pretty straightforward. Look how crappy these bushings are from the factory. It's unbelievable that they even put that in there. But simple PowerFlex update is not so bad. Probably about 30 minutes start to finish on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock out the other side, and then we'll drive it over to the alignment shop, because obviously with all the suspension replacement, and this is a final blow to the alignment that was already set. So we're gonna go get that realigned, and then she should be running beautifully again, nice and smooth, no creaks, no rattles. Everything's been replaced, so should be nice and brand new. So I'll keep you guys posted. I'm not going to film the other side because it takes me more time to do the task than it does while filming, and of course you guys just saw it all on that side, so we're gonna do it over there. Stay tuned, keep you updated. All right, boys. Good news, it took me an hour, literally start to finish, to do this. So if you guys have some squeaking noises in the rear of your SAAB, there you guys have it. The crappy bushings from the factory. They do it on the subframe, they do it on the control arm in the rear here. I don't understand it, but anyways, we are now on all fours. I'm gonna go bring this in and get an alignment, because it's gonna run like dog crap right now with the way everything sits. But that's to be expected when you remove suspension components. So let me go ahead, we'll drive it over there. I'll give you guys an update in the car, how it feels, how it sounds. Should be pretty good. Let's do it. All right, guys, so no more aches and creaks back there when I go over bumps. So the nice thing about this control arm bushing, trailing arm bushing upgrade, this polyurethane, is it's obviously a much more secure bushing than the factory, as you guys saw the factory ones, but it's also a harder material, so it actually will allow a bit of a performance upgrade in terms of the handling of the car, the ride feel. It's gonna hold turns a little bit better, and it's gonna be a little bit more stiffer on that control arm there, that rear trailing control arm, which essentially is an improvement to the driving and handling of the car. So I've done this before on my original SAAB 9.5, and I remember that vividly when I did that. The car really just, between the subframe polyurethane bushings and the rear trailing arm control arm bushing there, it really changes the whole dynamic of the car. So if you guys haven't done those upgrades, an hour of labor just now to do that, and an hour or two of labor on the subframe, and you literally transform the entire SAAB, the entire ride of the car. I don't know why the factory cheapens out on these things. I mean, I'm sure the engineering today is improved, but I'm sure the same crappiness exists in terms of quality of materials, in terms of longevity and this and that. Obviously 200,000 miles, it's a lot of miles on a car, so everything should be replaced at some point. But yeah, so a little upgrade, little update and improvement to the car. Like I said earlier, I don't really know what else to do with this car. I mean, I can start to do performance upgrades to it, but I probably won't do that, because we want this thing to be reliable daily, since everybody in the family drives it. So I'm not gonna go ahead and do such a thing, especially with the high miles that it has. So we're gonna just keep running it out the way it is, stock. It runs really good, and at this point it runs like new with everything we've done. So once we get this alignment done, I'll give you guys an update in the next video. But I would venture to say we're pretty much 100% on this car. There's not much to do. I mean, there's some rust under there in the rear as expected, but at the moment I'm just gonna leave that alone. Maybe at some point in the future we can maybe replace all the metal components that are rusting out. I mean, it's literally peeling apart, right? But nothing that I'm worried about at this moment. So anyhow, I hope you guys like this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. A lot of car content on this channel if you haven't been following. If you're new, And if you aren't new, thanks again for watching and staying tuned. You guys can follow me at Kyle Pancis on Instagram. Always happy to help answer any questions that I can if you guys have any questions. So stay tuned for the next video. We'll see you there.